Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Oh yes, good morning and thank you for keeping it locked to Church of Uganda Family TV. This is Issues at Hand. Apologies for the little delay, but it is a very, very busy day. So there are quite a lot of things happening outside there that could cause some technical issues or delays here and there. But well, I'm glad we are here and we are going to be talking about what should be coming up. That is, of course, UNEB examinations, PLE, UCE, and USCE. You could be aware that yesterday the release of the timetables was done officially, and of course we are now anticipating the examinations that are yet to begin on the days that are going to be communicated to us here as well. But I am very sure some of you could already be knowing because the publications have been done everywhere outside there. Greetings, and of course it is my honor to be hosting here once again the Principal PRO Public Relations Officer at UNEB, and that is Mrs. Jennifer Kalule here with us. Good morning.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be here. Praise the name of the Lord, everybody out there. Thank you for keeping it at Family TV. Yes. And thanks for inviting us.
All right. So I understand time is not our best, but we shall quickly dive into the discussion. First and foremost, yesterday you were able to release the timetables of different levels. If you can briefly take us through that, and also stipulate the dates that each of them are going to start and end.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Yes, yesterday we did the official release of the timetables for the 2025 examinations. This time around we have 3 sets of examinations. The ordinary, that's the usual. We have the Uganda Certificate of Education examination, that is the senior for examination, which is going to be, which is the first in the series of examinations that we do set, that we do assess, and it's going to begin on the 10th of October. So that officially makes the beginning of those examinations 10th of October with a briefing of the candidates, that's the senior for candidates, and then it will go on until 8th November. So it's the kind of like a whole month, you know, it's a long span, and then to be followed by the primary leaving examination for P7, and this is going to be on the on the 31st of October. And that will be the briefing of the candidates, and then they will write their papers starting on the 3rd of November. 3rd and 4th is when they're going to write their papers. And then finally we are going to have the Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education, that is the USCE for Senior 6, and they're going to write their papers from the 7th of November until the 5th of November, and that will mark the end of the examinations. Then we shall be doing other activities in between. Okay. So the critical thing right now before the examinations begin is for everyone out there, if you have a candidate or if you're a candidate, confirm that you have been registered. You may be assuming you're a candidate when you're not a candidate. A candidate is one who has been duly registered. So I want to call upon parents and guardians and everybody concerned, please go and confirm that your child is registered, fully registered. If they are registered, then confirm the correctness of the biodata, of the information which has been given. I look at the names, spelling of names, look at the order of names, look at the date of birth, look at the photograph which has been appended to your child's name, because that is the photograph which is going to appear on the file.
Those can be edited right now?
Yes, before the examinations begin. Yes. Because the UNEB Act compels us to display, and it is the schools which have to display. So we are calling upon the schools, please make sure that the registers of the candidates are displayed on the notes boards, on the school notes boards. And for us as parents, as guardians, please go ahead and cross-check and confirm. In case there's an error which you need to correct, then you can inform the school, and the school will inform your neighbor, and we shall be able to make those corrections before it is too late. So you still have that option to do that. So that is very critical for everybody who has a candidate. The other way you can do it, first of all, you can confirm that someone is registered. There's an SMS option. Go to your SMS menu on the phone. You need to know the full index number of the candidate. Then you're going to put in REG, which is short of registration, that is REG, leave space, put in the full index number of the candidate, and then you go to 6600.
Okay.
Then you'll get the details. You'll be able to say the candidate is registered and the registration, and then I think the funding, and then the papers they are doing for the secondary candidates. That will give you at least an idea. But for the details, you need to go to school and look at the whole display.
Oh, wow, very interesting. And now can we also, how many candidates are expected to sit for examinations at all levels?
Okay, fine. Overall, we've had a percentage increase of 7.5 for all the levels. And the biggest increase has been at senior 6, where we had, last year, we had 141,996 candidates who were registered last year. And this year, we have 166,433 candidates registered. That is a percentage increase of 14.7. And then next is the UC is still another interesting one. Last year we had 379,699 candidates registered. This time round we have 432 and 25 candidates registered. And that is the percentage increase of 12.1. And then finally at PLE 11, last year we had 797, 444 candidates registered. This time around we have 818 and 10 candidates registered. That is a percentage increase of 2.5. And so we want to thank everybody who has been part of this process, because UNEB doesn't register the learners, they are registered from school, but there are so many people who are involved. The parents themselves, they pay the registration fees, they are willing to take their children to school, the teachers are involved. At the primary level, we have we work with the local governments, mainly district inspectors, state inspectors, and the municipal inspectors of schools, whom we work with to help us with the mobilization and with the registration. So I want to say thank you so much to all those partners of ours. And then at secondary level, we work with head teachers, but we have the people we call the area supervisors. So these are the people that we work with. These are heads, we kind of like block them. So they are the ones that we work with in those regions to do the coordination on those areas. And we've been having various engagements with these people to review the previous year and then see what next, how can we improve, when we are coming up with different measures. So last week we had an engagement with the local government authorities, heads, and we did come up with lots of resolutions to help us improve on the delivery of examinations this year. And now, right now, as I speak, we are having various engagements in the regions for the area supervisors to plan for the effective management and field conduct of the secondary examinations for senior 4 and senior 6. So I want to thank you all very much for being there. Thank you so much for being great partners, because without you, you're not able to do it. And all our colleagues out there who are in the field, we wish you all the best. We're doing it all over the country. We're working with the police, regional police commanders, and to help us, because they are the ones who store our examinations at the police stations. That's why we have the UNEB containers. So they are critical partners, but also ensuring the security of the examinations. We work along with police and with the military and all the other stakeholders.
Okay, well, very interesting. And when you talk about stakeholders, my attention goes to the preparedness. When it comes to those days of having these papers done, how prepared are we? Because this is a rainy season. We have seen some challenges in regards to maybe there's too much rain. Yes, the candidates could delay, but how about the papers themselves? How are we making sure that we are better every year? Make sure that at least there are no delays.
Those are some of the things that we discuss with our stakeholders. With primary level, we had the engagement with the local government authorities, and we've essentially agreed that they are going to, on those 2 days, and on those 2 days we are involving the chief administrative officers, we are involving the DEOs and the DICs, all of them. Because period is just 2 days. So we agree that we are going, in as much as it is possible, we are going to have those days dedicated to the examinations. So we are going to have the district, the vehicles, and all means possible to help in distributing the examinations, but also the staff themselves, the technical staff, are going to help in the distribution. I remember last year when Mr. Dongo mentioned something about not using border borders, and people like that UNEB has refused from using border borders. We are not saying that people should not ride the bike if it is a means of transport available and it is convenient. But what we said before, what they used to do, they would get papers and hand them off to a border rider. That way you'd get a safe border and send them to your UNEB. And these are people, I mean, maybe they don't even add as much value.
Yeah.
So the agent gets and say, please give me, and then they cut the paper and then they remove the envelope and then they take a photo and then put back. Because for him it's just a courier person, really.
Yeah.
So we are saying that we are not using courier people. You can hire a border and you go with it. And then, so we have somebody responsible, an officer, a government officer who is accountable, who is accountable to government, I know you're doing a noble duty. So we have agreed we are going to work with the local government authorities in as much as is possible to help us deliver the examinations. So they are the ones on the ground, and now they will gauge depending on the situation and say we need XYZ, this is how we are going to do it, or something like that.
Okay.
And of course the police and security people are all on our side. So that's why we are working with stakeholders, and we hope it shall be well.
All right, let me go back a little bit to the candidates. This time around, do we have data about the special interest groups or candidates? Do we know their number? Have they improved? And what special care or what special attachments do they have during this period of time?
The special needs candidates, those are the ones that have, some of them need interpretation. Some of them need those who cannot write, who are not able to see. They need to have braille. Like the version with which the timetable, we did launch the braille timetable as well, so they can be able to see and touch and everything. So we give them braille. And then there are those that need those that need the sign language. The sign language ones, they have their own papers as well. And so depending really on the type of on the type of special needs. Yes. So we have a number of. I'm trying to get the figures for the special needs learners that we did get, but we are seeing an increase in these special needs learners, which is a good thing for us. Although the other thing is we've noticed that they try to escalate the figures because some of them, the special needs candidates get an extra 45 minutes because of the disability. They are slow. Like if somebody is going to get a sign language interpreter, or if somebody is going to get somebody to interpret for them, the time you take to read and interpret for them, they take more time. So we give them an extra 45 minutes. And there are those who need large font. They can't easily see properly, so they need a large font. And then there are those who have maybe hearing impairment, different needs, and we give them an extra 45 minutes. So now we realize that there are some schools are using it as an opportunity to get the people they want to give some extra time to perform really well. So it's kind of a form of a malpractice, and so they come and tell you now the child they cannot see whatnot. When you test them, actually they're actually seeing properly. So we are being to realize the numbers were actually rising so much about the special needs, but I don't have the figures here with me, and I just saw it on the anyway. I don't have the figures here with me, but we have an increase in the number of special needs at all levels. But we hope that they are all authentic, and we are going to be cross-checking and all that. But also the beauty about it is that it shows people are appreciating that these special needs learners are also have a right to go to school. That is the positive bit about it. So they no longer hide them in their homes, so they don't take them to school. And also our schools, what we call inclusive schools, whereby an ordinary school can take on special needs learners for as long as they are able to to cope, and maybe there's somebody to help them. So they are no longer segregated upon. It's no longer an issue. If you have a special needs child, you can take them to school, and you can be sure that they will not be desegregated upon. I'm going to get the figures along the way.
All right, interesting. So now the timetable is out. Usually when it's out, panic mode switches.
I know.
So what's your message to the candidates out there in such a period of time, knowing that any day from now we are going to be starting our final papers?
Okay, let me have actually got the special needs figures.
Oh, okay.
We have 4,802 learners who are special needs education learners, and there's a percentage increase of 4.5 from last year, where we had 4,587 learners of special needs. And then out of this, you find that 3,619 are PLE candidates. So you find that even at that level, many people are appreciating that even if the child has a special need, they can still go ahead and go to school and they get assessed. And the fact that they are also able to complete the cycle, that is also by the grace of God, for which we thank God for the teachers and for the parents and everybody who supports them. At UC at senior 4 level, we have 670 learners who are special needs education candidates, and then at USCE we have 513. All these figures are very impressive, and for me it is about us being a more accommodative and supporting somebody despite their disability. Yeah, so the message to the learners out there, first of all, the panic mode, yes, of course, everybody, no one likes examination. Recently, we had the team building activity at UNEB, and then the lady says, examination, so we're like, excuse us, you don't examination your name. You don't examine your name. We're like, hey, I'm giving you guys an examination. Everybody was there, the ED and all that. And guess what? We failed very fast. It was very fast. But anyway, it was very interesting. But yes, that is expected. But for us, for the learners, let them do their last bit. Let them read. Let them know they don't need to panic. What I want to assure them is that they have what it takes to pass these examinations. If you've been studying, the Bible talks about the Holy Spirit being the one who reminds us of who is our teacher, and He's the one who reminds us of things we need to know. If you have been studying, if you have been reading, I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit is going to remind you. But you need to have been studying and to have revised. So do all the revisions, do all the group works. And for the senior fours, I encourage you to acquaint yourselves with the scenario questions, and we have the question bank booklets which have been printed. The very first one for this new curriculum, it is available at 18,000 at UNEB offices. You can access it. So I want to encourage you to access them so you get acquainted with the kind of questions that are being asked. They are scenario questions. As long as, by the way, you have the content, all you need is critically think through the situation, the issue which has been presented. Think of how you overcome them, how you provide a solution. Because you're looking at being analytical, analyze the situation, critically think through it, and then how would you come up with a solution. So you're talking about think about problem solvers. So you cannot fail to write something, I can assure you, because somehow in a given situation you are able to think about how to go about it, as long as you have the content. And that is the beauty about the new curriculum. You should not be able to fail. You should be able to pass effectively well. P7, go ahead. Even P7 and senior 6, it's officially the old curriculum, but because all of us are getting computer competence based, you still need to have some bit of competence, be able to interpret a question, and then see how you can be able to respond and come up with a solution to a real life problem. But please be disciplined. Being a candidate does not exonerate you from doesn't make you over and above the school rules and regulations. Make sure that you are disciplined. If it's time to go for prep, go for prep. If it's time to switch off lights, switch off your lights. If it's time to go for scripture, whatever it is, don't be indisciplined. Because if you get indisciplined, I'm telling you, they are going to they can suspend you, they can expel you, and UNEB will not be there, do not condone indiscipline. UNEB is going to be there to help you, and you don't want your parents to suffer at this point in time looking for a school for you, because you won't get any. If not, they may tell you that you're going to be coming to school with police and under the surveillance of police. It is the worst. I'm telling you, psychologically you are tortured. So make sure you don't get involved in drugs, in acts of indiscipline, or anything that will get you out of will take you out of order, because you are still under school rules and regulations. And of course, pray about your Pray and pray. I mean, wisdom comes from God. We shall dedicate you. At UNEB, we have special dedication for all the candidates. We keep praying for all of them. I know your parents are praying, and for us as parents, it is our duty to also encourage them. Find time and go to school. Talk to your child. Pray for them, encourage them, assure them that they are able to do it. Let them have something to look forward to. Let them know mommy believes in me. Let us show them that we believe in them. They need that motivation, they need that encouragement, and they will definitely be able to make it. For the teachers, you have all this time with the learners, please go ahead and utilize it. Talk to them, encourage them, help them revise. So you do not have to get involved in or get tempted to get into malpractice simply because you did not prepare enough.
Wow, interesting. How about this evil?
Which one?
Malpractice.
Yes. Yeah, you find every year we have a theme, and our theme usually revolves around. We are maintaining the theme for last year, which is embracing security and holistic assessment of learners in a dynamic environment. Security is a key component here, and what we are saying is that everybody, it is a joint responsibility. It's not just about UNEB to make sure that we have the security of the examination. It is everybody's responsibility. The teachers, the parents who keep paying, they ask you for some money, this and this, and you know what is it for at this point in time. So we are working together with all the stakeholders. Of course, we make sure that we are all alert. You're going to have the scouts there. You're going to have invigilators there. You're going to have people going there to make sure that everything is intact. What I can assure you is that our systems are intact. Nobody can access a UNEB paper before its time. The time where we've been having a weakness was the time of the distribution from the container to the school, where like I told you, where they were using border as couriers. And now we are using officers who are accountable. Edwin, you can't stop by the road, say, to cut a paper to pull it out. The people you know that are really accountable, their levels of integrity are high. Those are the people we are going to be working with to distribute the papers to the schools. Now at the schools there, that is where at times last time we got challenges because the teachers were really beaten hands down. So they would compromise with some of the scouts or the invigilators. They can call you, come for tea. Exams are beginning, they're calling you for tea, and you're going for tea. You're excited because there's chicken here, it's smelling and everything. Meanwhile, as they're taking you to the dining room or to the other tree, the other end, something is happening, and they are trying to get, maybe they're copying, they're taking the learners through that kind of thing. So we and all those people we've eliminated them. We are going to brief all our scouts and invigilators so they can be able to appreciate. So, you think that we don't need to give anybody added advantage over all the others, but also you are sowing a seed which you will not be able to uproot. And if somebody thinks that you may think that you are fine or you are going to get this little money, but you are destroying a system, because if people out there know that that there's malpractice in Uganda, you're going to present your papers one day somewhere, and they will say your papers are not credible simply because they think everyone in Uganda is involved in malpractice. They think nobody gets what they are supposed to be getting. Yet actually, those are the actual grades. So there are people who read and study and they work for their grades. So it is very unfortunate we can have people who don't want to get their own grades, and we don't want to have that kind of that kind of vice in our system. So we are calling upon everybody to make sure that we all fight malpractice together, because it is a vice which affects all of us, affects our children. We only have one examination body in this country, so if our papers are not credible, if our credibility is questioned internationally, then it's not going to help any of us. So want to call upon everybody to please support the call and make sure we embrace security, all of us. It is a joint responsibility. Okay.
People are conned during this period of time. Some of them, someone just comes and tells you, I have a paper, give me this money. And unfortunately, you find some people in schools, maybe the school heads or even the parents themselves are willing to give in this money. What message do you have for such, the parents and also the institutions that would want to go in for such?
Yes, I'm saying it is a joint responsibility. Just let me tell you, nobody, with the kind of system we have. Let me give you an example. Right now, the people who are proofreading, who are doing the final printing and everything of the examinations, they are locked up in Comunicado, in a factory, until when your ACE begins. Until November, they are locked up. I'm the one who calls their families and finds out how are the children, how are you doing. If you have, they are not. So now those people, they do not have phones, they do not have rings, they do not have anything to communicate with the outside world. It is only Mr. Odongo who goes there. He's the accounting officer. He cannot leak his own paper. He's the only one who goes there, and then he selects and say, now we are going to print this. All of us do not know. On the final day, everything is packed and they take to these containers, and nobody knows until
they still stay there.
Sorry?
Those ones who are in Communicado still stay there.
Until we begin USCE, they stay in there. Their families don't see them for 2 months, and they entered already. Their families don't see them like for 2 months. So we put in so much that we will do anything to protect and guard it, because it is really too much, by the way. To be frank, the dormitories are there, they eat from there, they do what, everything is in there, in the fact, just to make sure that we have we ensure the security of these examinations. So up to that point, we are very sure nobody can access. There are other security measures in the term of transporting and all that thing that we don't even need to divert. But just to give you a glimpse, that I can assure you, we do our best, and to a greater extent, and even with the curriculum, not like the new curriculum, senior for, even if you want to cheat for a child, they have to think for themselves. I mean, if you looked at this together, for instance, Edwin, you and I, and we're taught to interpret this, we can't interpret it in the same way. I mean, even if you're looking at it at the same time, even if we were twins, so everybody has got their own interpretation of a question and how they look at things and all that. So there's just no way. With the new curriculum, you just have to make sure you up your game, get the content, and then exercise doing the scenario questions, how to answer the questions, how to interpret questions, and all that. One thing I want to also talk about the new curriculum, the senior 4 candidates especially. We want to call upon the teachers and heads of centers to submit scores for continuous assessment. We want to thank God a number of you have submitted. I think our submission rate is at around 98, 92, something like that. Many of you have submitted. However, those who are yet to submit the scores for the learners up till senior for second term, and the deadline is 30th of this month. We have just a few days to go, so please go ahead and make sure you submit on the portals, because if you do not submit fully, we aren't going to assess those learners who have not submitted their scores for continuous assessment. So we request the heads of centers to make sure anybody responsible submits the scores for all the candidates by 30th of September.
Okay. Maybe someone needs to know the penalties that are behind malpractice, so they can be aware if at all they want to get involved.
Yes. Oh, by the way, yes. So, when I was saying that the parents and teachers, nobody would wink you and tell you they are going to get you casas. Nobody is going to get you casas. Kindly feed your children, buy them fruits, let them have enough rest. By the way, rest is very important. Now, preparation is very critical. Let's give children enough time to rest during to read and revise during the day, but they also need to have enough time to rest in the night. So don't wake them up at 2 o'clock or something like that. It is not really worth it. Their brains need to have enough rest, and let them feed well, let them have a balance, let them have greens, fruits, and juices and all that. Encourage them, motivate them, let them also feel like, yes, we are special. So instead of using that money to give it to people who are going to woodwink you, think they are going to give you kasasi, there's nothing, no one is going to get it. So the penalties, if you are involved in malpractice, you can be imprisoned. Depends, they range from between 5 to 10 years imprisonment, and then in terms of the fee, it is between 10 to 20. Actually, there's 10 million, 20 million, and even 40 million, depending on the particular offense that you are involved in. But there's also what we call aiding and abetting malpractice. In other words, facilitating malpractice. Now you see this courier guy who may avail you with the envelope and you cut and remove. He's not involved in a malpractice, but he's aiding. He is facilitating a malpractice. You too are culpable. The scouts, you are sent to these schools to be there on behalf of the boards to ensure security of examinations. You go taking tea, chicken and all that, instead of being in the examination room scouting. You are aiding and abetting malpractice. You are culpable. 5 to 10 years imprisonment, my dear. It can be or 10, 20 or 40 million shillings as a penalty. So be very keen on what you are doing. If you've chosen to come and do this work with UNEB, please do it with all your heart. If you think you're not able to be there and you've been assigned the job of scouting and something else comes up, please inform UNEB. Don't subcontract another person. You've had some people do subcontract and they say, I have this child, but they give there and then they give you half the money. Adrian, please go and do this for me. They've not been briefed, they don't know the importance and all that. That is very risky. All of you are aiding malpractice. You are all going to be culpable in the event that school is involved in malpractice. and then the results of that school. Just one candidate like this can lead to the results of the school being cancelled. And being found involved in a malpractice in just one paper can cause you to look. I mean that means all examination is going to be cancelled. No matter if it's been geography, you've been found involved in malpractice just in geography. All the papers are going to be cancelled. So it is really not worth it. You've been studying all along. Your parents have been paying school fees. You have been paying school fees. We've all put in so much. It is not worth losing it at this point in time. So I want to request that the best we can do, let us support the children. Let's provide a conducive environment for them to revise. Let's support them, encourage them, pray for them, and they have what it takes to pass according to the ability that God has given them.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been really interesting and informative. If you could give us your parting shots as we head out of here.
Okay, my parting shots, the other critical thing I want to tell the learners and the parents is timekeeping. UNEB examinations and national examinations. If we encourage you to make sure you are at the venue for the examination at least 30 minutes before the examination begins. Latest 15 minutes after examination has started. If you are there 20 minutes, 16 minutes after, you may not do the examination. So please, let's make sure we are at the examination room in good time. For the day scholars, be there in good time. For the rest of, for the border, even for the borders, be there in good time. Otherwise, I want to say that the Lord is going to be with you. It's not like life and death. It is about giving you an assessment to help you move on to another level. It's just a gate which you have to pass through. And because it is a major gate, we are going to be praying for you. We are going to support you. UNEB is not here to fail you, but UNEB is here to facilitate you to go through the primary gate to secondary, from O level to A level, from A level to university or college, as the case may be. And we believe if you've been studying, if you've done all that it takes, you have what it takes to pass the examination. The Lord is going to be with you, and it shall be well in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, Madam Jennifer. And it is a very strong appeal out there that please make sure you support your children during this period of time, feed them well, and just like we've been guided, give them enough resting time so as their minds can be fresh and ready to tackle those examinations. I want to appreciate you for joining us this morning. Please have a lovely day. More programs are coming up, but also stay safe out there. Nominations day, elections are here, so try and be safe in this period of time as we go through it. Have a lovely day.
Issues at hand